technology at Iowa. My name is Jamie, and as Bree said, I am the manager of the Information Technology Services Help Desk on campus at the university. And joining me today is Jacob, and as Bree said, Jacob is going to help us. He also works with me at the help desk, and he's going to answer all of your questions in the Q&A. So as we are going through our information today, feel free to ask any questions because we want to make sure that we get all of your questions answered today. So what we are going to talk about today is all of the IT services that the students will use during their time at Iowa. We're going to make sure that we talk a lot about security and keeping your online identity safe. And we want to make sure to discuss everything that is free. As we all know, their college is expensive and ITS offers a lot of free services. So I'm going to make a big deal about everything that we offer that's free. The other thing that we're going to do during our time together today is I'm going to discuss with you everything that the students should do to prepare before they come to campus. There are lots of things you can do this summer before school starts in the fall, and we want to make sure that you're ready to go. So I'm going to give you a list of all of the things that you need to do before you come to campus. So with that said, let's get started. So this first photograph that we are looking at is our walk-in location in University Capitol Center on the second floor. So as you can imagine, during the pandemic, this area was closed. We opened up several months ago for appointments only. And what we learned during the pandemic is that students will come to this location to have us help them with any technology issues they're having with their laptop, their mobile devices, their tablets. What we learned during the pandemic is that we can do almost all of those things remotely. When students can call us, email us, live chat with us, and we can answer almost all of your questions through those methods. We can also, if a student is having a problem with their laptop, we can remotely connect to their laptop. So we have found that our walk-in location isn't near as important as we once thought it was. So if you're a student on campus and you have a question, and if coming to our walk-in location is a little bit of an inconvenience, just know that there are lots of other ways that you can work with us so that we can help you. So let's get talking about your accounts and your HawkID access that you're going to have while you are on campus. So your HawkID and your HawkID password is going to be used for just about everything that you're going to access on campus. It is really very important to not give your HawkID password to anyone, not even your parents. Your parents don't need it. They will have their own access to anything that they need while you are a student on campus. So please make sure to take very close, keep your HawkID password very safe and do not share it with anyone. The one thing that you're going to want to know how to do is update your HawkID password. If you would forget your password, if you want to change your password, you do that at hawkid.uiowa.edu. But when you do this, when you use these tools, it's going to ask you security information based on the information that you have in MyUI. So you're going to want to make sure that your phone number in MyUI is actually your phone number and not your parents' phone number. Make sure your address is updated. Make sure that all of the information that you have in MyUI is up to date and is for you. So you're going to want to make sure that all of that is done before you try to use the HawkID password tools. Okay, so let's talk about security. We're going to be talking about security a lot during our time together today, because as we all know, there's lots of bad actors out there that are constantly trying to steal our identities and steal our information. So one way that we protect ourselves at the university is we use a service called two-step login. What it does is it takes a device that only you own, like your cell phone, and it provides an extra layer of protection by using your device to log in into any university service. So how it works, let's say you're going to log into Icon. You enter your HawkID and your HawkID password into Icon. You're going to get a prompt on your phone, just like this photo right here is showing us. And it's telling you that you need to approve this login. So you click the approve button and boom, you're in. So here is your first action item for today. The first thing that you need to do before you come to campus is you are not protected by two-step login until you enroll. So this URL at the bottom of the screen here, this two-step dash enroll, you need to go there and sign up for two-step login. There are a couple of different options for using two-step login. You can use a phone call, you can use a text message, but those are all based on your phone number, and your phone number can be spoofed, which is why we recommend the app, which is what we're showing here on this phone in this slide. So you're going to download the app when you go through the enrollment process. So if you go out to your Apple Store or your Google Play Store, the Duo mobile app is what you're going to want to download. And as you're going through the enrollment process, through this URL here, the two-step enroll, as you're going through the process, it's going to tell you to download the app, and it's going to give you the instructions that you need to how to get this set up. So please, your accounts are not secure until you do this. So please, please do this now. This is really, really important. So once you get your two-step login set up, the other thing that you're going to want to do is, if you plan to access email on your phone or your laptop or your tablet, make sure that you use the Microsoft Outlook app. It's free, it's secure, and it is compatible with two-step login. So while you're out at the App Store downloading the Duo mobile app, also download Microsoft Outlook, because if you plan to check email on your phone or your laptop, you're going to want to use Outlook. It is very, very safe. So when you do these things, if you have any questions about this process, or if you have any problems getting these things set up, again, I'm going to show you all of our contact information a little bit later, but you can call the help desk, you can email us, you can live chat us, and we will help you with any questions that you have while you are doing these things. So again, this is something that you're going to want to do this summer before you come to campus, because you want all this stuff ready to go by the time that you get to campus. So the other thing that we want to talk about while we're still talking about accounts and account access, and I'm sure that you may have heard this already, but your students can send an invitation to their parents to create an account in MyUI. So the number one question that we get about this is, we have a lot of parents that call us and say, hey, my student sent me the invitation, my account's all set up, I log into MyUI for my student and I can't see anything. It's because your student needs to give their parents access by checking some check boxes in MyUI so that the parents can see the U-bill and your grades. So when you are sending that invitation to your parents, make sure that you're sending it to their email account. And if your parent happens to work at the university, send it to their university email so that they have access with their HawkID. And then while you're sending them that invitation, make sure that you give them access to your grades and your U-bill. That's the number one question that we get from parents. So that is something that you for sure want to be aware of. Okay, so let's talk about email and Office 365 a little bit more. We've already learned that you're going to want to make sure that you use the Outlook app if you want to use email on your phone. Another way to check your email is through office365.uiowa.edu. So when you go out to this website, this is something that's free. So you want to make sure that you take advantage of all of the tools in Office 365. While you're out here, you can check your email. You can use the online version of Word, Excel, PowerPoint. But the other big advantage to using Office 365 is through Office OneDrive. You get 1 terabyte of free online storage. So the days of needing a big hard drive on your laptop, those days are over because everyone gets 1 terabyte of free storage. So you don't need a huge hard drive on your laptop because you have this for free. So the other thing to be aware of with Office 365, when you are using Excel, Word, and PowerPoint online, you're using the online version. The features of the online version are much different than what you get in the full Office suite. So while you're out at office365.uiowa.edu, you're going to see an option to download and install the full suite of products. Okay, so I can't stress to you enough how much this saves you because this is free. If you're going to go out and buy Office, I think you all probably know this is really expensive. A lot of times you have to pay monthly fees. As a University of Iowa student, this is free and it is a major perk. So make sure that you go out to Office 365 and download the full suite of products. Now, if you have a laptop and you already have Office installed, you're going to want to uninstall the version of Office that you have first before you install this version. So make sure that you do that. Again, if you have any questions about how to do this, you can call us and we will help you through this process. But one more thing I want to make sure that you understand, you can install the full suite of products on up to 5 devices. So you can install it on your laptop, you can install it on your tablet. If you use a desktop computer at your parents' house, you can install it there. So please take advantage of this because this is worth a lot. It's a really nice perk of being a student at the university. Okay, so let's keep going. Again, if you have any questions as we're going through this, be sure to use the Q&A. I can see that Jennifer has already asked a question and Jacob is going to respond to her. So please keep your questions coming through the Q&A option. All right, so moving on. We're going to talk about networking. So it is really, really important that students understand how to use the networking options at the university. So wireless on campus it's available all over campus. It's free, it's secure. The reason why our wireless is secure on campus is because you have to log in with your HawkID and your HawkID password. So EduRoam is our wireless service. It means education roaming. Almost every higher education institute in the world uses EduRoam. So let's say that for some reason you're going to go to Ohio State for some program that they offer. If you are at any other university in the United States or around the world, you can log on to their EduRoam with your University of Iowa HawkID and HawkID password. So it is a really safe and secure wireless option on campus. So students, make sure you use EduRoam. Your parents and your friends, anybody that comes to visit you on campus is going to want to use UI Guest. Students should never use UI Guest. It's not safe, it's not secure. You cannot log into UI Guest with your HawkID and your HawkID password. So you want to make sure that you do not use UI Guest. It's only for short-term use for your parents and your friends. The other thing that we have realized is, I guess, gaming consoles and streaming devices I guess they're kind of a thing. Students bring them to campus all the time. Those devices are not safe and secure. So our networking engineers on campus had to build a separate wireless network for your gaming consoles and your Rokus and your Fire Sticks and all of those devices. So on our website at its.uiowa.edu, and we're going to give you all of these URLs before we're done here today. So don't worry about writing down any URLs. There are instructions for how to register your gaming consoles and your streaming devices for UI DeviceNet. So when you move to campus, if you're going to bring those devices, that's what you'll use UI DeviceNet for. So we want to make sure that you understand the difference between all of these wireless networks on campus. The other thing to keep in mind is I said Eduroam is everywhere on campus. Hubbard Park, the Penncrest, even outdoor areas on campus are covered with Eduroam because we have thousands of access points installed all over campus. So make sure that that students are using Eduroam. Okay, the other thing to be aware of, if you want to use it, we have a lot of students on campus that will never ever use our wired networking options. But if you want to use it, it's available in the residence halls. It's really fast, it's Ethernet. You need to bring your own cable if you want to use that, if you want to use our wired connection on campus. This URL, that /resnet, will give you more information about our wired Ethernet options on campus. So again, a lot of students never use it because our wireless is very fast and very safe and secure, but if you want to use it, you can. And if you're going to bring an Ethernet cable, I would bring a long one so that you can move around your room with your laptop and an Ethernet cable. Okay, let's keep moving. So, networking best practices. Do not bring a wireless router to campus. You don't need one. They don't meet our security standards. You're going to be using Eduroam on campus anyway because it's safe, it's fast, it's secure. If you did bring a wireless router to campus and you plugged it into our network engineers have our network set up so it's constantly scanning the network. If you try to plug in a wireless router to the campus network, it's going to be shut down. They don't meet our security standards. They're not safe. So please do not bring a wireless router to campus. Also, about personal printers. Most students don't bring one. We're going to be talking about printing in just a minute here, but if you do want to bring a printer to campus, please be aware that you cannot use a printer over university wireless. It doesn't meet our safety guidelines. So if you do want to use your printer, you're going to need to bring that printer cable so that you can connect it to your computer. So please be aware of that. But again, most students don't bring a printer. So student computer access. Located all over campus, there are computer labs. You can go to this URL, this its.uiowa.edu/ITC, and find all of our computer labs on campus. These computer labs are really popular. We have found that a lot of students do not want to carry their laptops around campus. So they can stop into one of these computer labs. They can print a document in the computer lab. So these are very, very handy if you do not want to carry a laptop around campus. So that's definitely something to be aware of. So while you are in these computer labs on campus, they all have printers. Again, this is why students don't bring a printer to campus because printing is very inexpensive. You can print in these computer labs all across campus. This is a really nice feature that we offer students that are living on campus. So one thing to keep in mind, let's say that you live in a residence hall. You do want to print something before you go to class. If you're in a residence hall, if you're in your room, if you have your laptop, you can use a service called WebPrint. You can print from your laptop to any ITC printer that maybe there's a lab that's close to you, or maybe there's a lab that's actually in your residence hall. From your room, you can print from your laptop before you leave your room. You go down to the printer in the ITC, you log in to the print release station, you send your job to print, you grab your print job, and then you're on your way. So web print and the ability to print from your laptop anywhere on campus is really a popular feature that students do use. But again, a lot of students anymore, you don't print that much because you're going to be turning your assignments in online through Icon. You're going to be storing all of your documents in OneDrive. So printing is not near as popular as it used to be. So definitely something to be aware of. Okay, and I am going to pause for just a minute and let you make sure that you all realize this presentation that we are going through today is on the orientation website. So you can go out and download this presentation and get all of these URLs that we're talking about. At the end of this presentation, we are going to be going through a lot of frequently asked questions. So you can go out and download this PowerPoint that we're using today. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that. I also want to make sure that you are aware we are recording this presentation. So if you want to watch this later, you can. Okay, keep your questions coming through the Q&A. Jacob, thank you for sending a link to where the presentation is located, because everyone is probably going to want to go out and download this because there's a lot of really valuable information. As you can tell, we've already discussed lots and lots of things. So let's keep moving. What we're going to talk about now is students and what personal devices they bring to campus. This is probably still the #1 question that we get. Whether you have a Mac laptop, a Windows laptop, it really doesn't matter. It's personal preference. What we will tell you is if you are going to buy a new laptop before you come to campus, make sure you take advantage of educational discounts. Almost every vendor offers a discount to students. So make sure that you take advantage of those discounts. And also one thing that we recommend, we don't really recommend Chromebooks. Lots of students have them. They're inexpensive. They're easy to use. Chromebooks are not compatible with all of the services that we offer on campus. So if you do have a Chromebook and if you want to bring it, that's fine. Make sure it's not your only device. Make sure that you have a laptop besides that Chromebook. Okay, more resources, and let's continue to talk about free stuff. One of the things that you'll probably use during your career at Iowa is you're probably going to be using Zoom at one point or another throughout your time at Iowa. We want to make sure that you use the university licensed version of Zoom. The reason why is because on campus, this is free for students. The university pays for Zoom that has a lot more features than what you can use through the free version. So make sure that you go to uiowa.zoom.us, log in. So this option right here on the screen, it says to sign in with SSO. What that means is single sign-on, which means sign in with your HawkID and your HawkID password. So make sure that you use the university version of Zoom so that you can take advantage of all of the free features that we offer. That is a really nice perk. Okay, more information. As we go through, as you come to campus, as you are trying to find information about how to use our IT services, there is going to be support information on just about anything that you're going to want to do on campus with technology. If you go to its.uiowa.edu, you can search for how do I install email on my phone? How do I use web print to be able to print from my laptop from my dorm room? How do I log into Icon? All of that information is on our website. So search for any question that you have at its.uiowa.edu. The other thing that we want to make sure that that you understand is that we have this alert system. So let's say you're in a classroom, you have your laptop, you're trying to log into Icon. Maybe your icon login isn't working. You're like, what's going on here? Why can't I log into Icon? If you go to this website, its.uiowa.edu/alerts, if there is any problem with any service on campus, MyUI, Icon, printing, anything, if there's any problem with any service on campus, we're going to have it posted on that website. So go to that alerts page to see if there's any issue with any of our services. If there is, we're going to have the details posted there. We're also going to update that page when any issue is resolved. So keep going back to that alerts page for more information about any problems that we're having with any services on campus. Okay, so again, here is our phone number. You can see our phone number, you can see our email address, and there is a website where you can chat with us. So if you go to that /connect website, you give us your HawkID, you tell us what problem you're having, you submit your question, and we're going to chat online with you. It's a very popular service. So our walk-in location, as of July 1st, we're opening up our walk-in location again. But if it's not convenient for you to come to the second floor of Old Capitol Mall, you don't have to. You can call us, email us, or live chat with us. During the semester, our walk-in location is not open as late as these fall semester hours that are listed here, but our email, our phone service, and our live chat is open. As you can see, we're open on weekends. We're open until 10 p.m. during the week. So you can contact us at just about any time. So we're there to answer your questions. So make sure that you let us know if you have any questions. The other thing, if you are tech savvy, if you are looking for a job on campus, and you know what, maybe you're not that tech savvy, but maybe you have really good customer service skills. If you do and you want a job, the help desk is always hiring. We continually have anywhere between 25 and 30 students that work for us. So if you want to come work for us on campus, apply for a job. The students that work for us on campus frequently go out and get really good IT jobs after they graduate. So it's a great experience. And it's a great job to have on campus. So definitely apply if you are interested in working with us. So what we're going to go through now in this PowerPoint is our frequently asked questions. So again, Jacob chatted the website where you can download this presentation. So make sure that you go through all of these FAQs. Everything that is in these FAQs are things that we have talked about today. There are also other things in here that we have not talked about today, like electronic textbooks. If you don't want to actually pay a lot for your textbooks, electronic textbooks they gain more popularity every year. So make sure that you go through all of these frequently asked questions that are in this presentation that's posted online. Also, I told you a lot about the things that you need to do before you come to campus. This website right here, the top 5, its.uiowa.edu/top5, that is the list of everything that you're going to want to do before you come to campus. You're going to enroll in Duo. You're going to download Outlook. If you are going to use Outlook, or if you're going to use email on your phone, you're going to make sure you use the Outlook app. You're going to, when you get to campus, you're going to connect to Eduroam. So everything that you need to do before you come to campus is in that top 5 website. So be sure to check that out. A lot of the websites that we have discussed today are listed here. So please go out. And also there's a few websites here that we did not talk about today because we literally did not have enough time. This LinkedIn Learning and these resources, these are also more free things that we offer on campus. So please go out and check out all of these websites. So with that said, does anyone have any further questions? If you do, please feel free to chat them and we can make sure that we get those answered. So we're going to hang on here for a few more minutes just to make sure that we get all of your questions answered. Again, hey, Jacob, do you want to chat the URL again? Oh, I think maybe you chatted it more than, okay, that you've chatted several URLs. I'm just looking now what you've been chatting.
Jamie, we had a question. Could you just show the FAQ slide again? The first one?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
And then link to the slideshow again.
Thank you for that, Bree. Just trying to get caught up on that. We did go over a lot of information today, so definitely make sure that you call us if you have any questions that you maybe can't find the answer to. But again, we're going to stay here for a few more minutes to answer all of your questions. And again, I'll just flip through these FAQs. And I'm also going to go back to the list of all of those websites. Because these websites are definitely resources that you're going to want to be aware of. And please, 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 students, make sure that you get enrolled in two-step login today. That's probably the most important thing that you can do right now is get enrolled in two-step login, because your email account, your online identity, none of that is really safe until you enroll in two-step login. So Jill is asking a question about the recording being emailed out. I don't believe that the recording will be emailed, but Bree, won't the recording be added to the orientation services website? Is that where they'll be able to find the recording?
Yes, you got it. We're going to link from the orientation website to the YouTube page where the recordings will live. If you want a recording, I'm going to just post our email address, orientation@uiowa.edu. We can send it directly to you, but we won't default to emailing it out. So just email us if you'd like a copy.
So Lisa asked a good question about buying a laptop from the University of Iowa bookstore. So Lisa, my advice, the nice thing about purchasing from the bookstore is they don't charge, I don't believe they charge sales tax. If anybody can correct me on that, if I'm incorrect about that, our bookstore information recently changed. So Lisa, I will say the tech support that the bookstore offers that you might pay for, that's nice. The help desk can probably do just about anything for tech support that the bookstore can do. So, you know, I mentioned earlier that students will bring their laptops to our walk-in area. The number one reason why they bring their laptops to our walk-in area is maybe their laptop has been compromised with a virus. I mean, we at the help desk, we will, if it's necessary, we don't fix hardware issues. Like if your hard drive goes bad, we cannot fix that. So that would be the nice thing about having a warranty on the hardware. But like let's say if the laptop is compromised with the virus, we can re-image that laptop and reinstall the operating system for any University of Iowa student. So that's the number one reason why students bring us their laptops to the walk-in area, is if it's compromised so much that they can't use the laptop, we can re-image it for them. The only thing that we don't do is hardware support. So So if you have Apple Care, Peter, you asked a really good question about Apple Care. Apple Care, you have to call Apple to take advantage of that. I believe the bookstore probably has that that option as well, is using Apple Care through the university bookstore. So that is a good question. So, but as far as just general support of devices and how to use our services, the help desk is going to help all of our students with any of those questions. Bree, do you want to answer the question about logging out for the next session?
Yeah, thank you. I was just typing back. Yes, we have separate, I think of them as rooms, as if we were in person. So unfortunately, you need to, we'll leave this session, we'll end this one, and then you'll join the next. I dropped the registration links, those simple forms to list your name and email, which will give you the link to join the session. So fill that out and you'll receive a new link to join the next room in your email. And let me know if you have any issues with that. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks, Bree. And I'm going to answer Chris's question about two-step login. Once the student is connected and using MFA, which means multi-factor authentication, will they have to keep getting the codes sent to their phone every time they log in? Excellent question, Chris. So again, when you go to that two-step enroll to log in, we're going to guide you through how to use the app. So when you use the app, it literally sends a push to your phone, and all you do is check. And you know what? I'm going to go back to that slide. All you do is click the button on your phone to click accept, so you don't have to use those codes. So I'm going to go back to, so on this slide right here. So if you get a push to your phone, this image of this phone right here, that's exactly what it's going to look like. You literally click approve at the bottom and you don't have to use any codes with your two-step login. So we definitely recommend that app. It is the most safe and secure. We have just a couple minutes left here. Any more questions from anyone? All right, so thank you all for your time today. Please contact the help desk anytime you have any questions, and be sure to get all of your homework done before you come to campus. Yay, enroll in two-step login. Download Outlook on your phones and your laptops. Make sure you're ready for campus, because you know what? When you come to campus, we want you to be prepared, because that walk-in area that you saw on the second floor of University Capital Center, that is a very busy place the first week of classes. You do not want to come to walk in the first week of classes. So get your homework done, go through all of these action items, and get ready for a great semester this fall. So good luck, and thank you for your time today.